Do you want to be healed?
Who are you?
We'll get to that later. But my question remains.
Will you take me to the water?
Do you want to be healed? Do you have something, friend, that you have been seeking to complete some sort of healing or outcome, and time again you come up short? Well, my question is the same as Jesus had for Jesse. Do you in fact want to be healed? Because in reality, you must release the weight and you must open yourself up to the other opportunities. And that is really what Jesus was sharing with Jesse in this moment. Today, we're going to unpack that. So welcome back to another episode of Through the Lens with your favorite trauma coach, Ashley. Yes, again, this week is The Chosen, but now we are going fast forward to season 2, episode 4, and the healing at the pool. And today, we're really going to focus on how our laser focus keeps us from seeing the truth. It keeps us from seeing the opportunities. So many different things are packed in today's episode. So strap yourself in. This week's trip is The Chosen. Okay, let's go back to that scene where Jesus finds Jesse. And first of all, Jesse has been there, I think, for like 38 years. And this pool is believed to have healing properties where if the water bubbles and you get into the water, then you will be healed. Again, I have not done a lot of reading of the Bible myself, but I'm going by what I have watched in The Chosen and the other understandings I have. Jesse's belief is that this pool will heal him. But the problem is he can never get into the pool when it bubbles. He can't walk. His legs do not work. And so every time the pool bubbles, it shows you him trying to get there and all these other people coming and getting in his way. And Jesus, after this moment in the episode, he starts to tell Jesus that he's having a really bad day and he has no one to take him to the pool because he asked Jesus, take me to the pool. Will you take me? And Jesus is like, mm-mm. He gets frustrated and he starts to share all of the attack. Right there, we get to see that, in fact, Jesse has been at this pool, and every time he has an opportunity, instead of seeing different options or seeing what the opportunity actually is, he instead sees the attack. And we know we only see attack when we are first coming from a place of attack. So what I see is excuses. And I really see myself in this episode where for so long, I sought my answers outside of me. I sought the healing, the outcomes I was seeking as things within the illusion. I was focused on the effects like Jesse is. Jesse is focused on that this pool is the answer, is the only answer to his prayers, to his seeking of healing, when in fact, that's not true. He spiritualized the illusion, and you can't spiritualize the illusion because it's not spiritual. You are. So then Jesus, by saying, no, I'm not going to take you to the pool, was really that relief of letting Jesse know that the pool doesn't contain your answers. And he even says that to him. He says, Jesse, the pool, you know the pool, that's not where the answers are. That's not where your healing is. And Jesse's like, oh. And he has remembrance. That's what Jesus is. Jesus is the brightest dang mirror you will ever have. Jesus it's not about his body. It's about the mirror he provided and the symbol and the remembrance he brought to people, which we all can once we get into that place, and Jesus being that big brother. And he reminds him. He helps Jesse to remember that you've been seeking outside of yourself this entire time, friend. And every time it comes up short and it doesn't provide you with what you were seeking, you have a million excuses as to who did the wrongs to you and who is actually the one holding you back, when in fact it's been you the entire time. You've been holding yourself back because you are so laser focused on the answer being outside of yourself that you've missed it. You've completely forgotten that well, the pool of healing that you are seeking, here comes in the parable, has always been within. That pool you've been seeking is within. And I remember that moment when I realized, like, oh crap. And I have a video that's at first, the truth shall set you free, but first it'll piss you the F off. And it's so true, because when we get to that understanding of like, oh crap, all of this stuff I've been seeking outside of me is just another smoke and mirrors. And really, what I've been seeking has been within this entire time. Again, like the last video of Miracle Worker with Simon, Jesus did not heal Jesse. Jesse allowed for healing. And in this, you also see Jesus says, we hear him say, do you want to be healed? Because you are the one in the way. Nobody else is. And truly, let's say, fine, you want to believe that there's people out there that can heal you. No one can heal you until you are ready to be healed yourself. Just like any transformation, I'm a firm believer, you can sign up for a retreat and you are so ready to transform. And instead of partaking in any of the retreat, you can lock yourself in a room, but because you were so ready at the level of the mind to transform, transformation will occur. Because what's outside of you, yes, it's a placebo. It can sometimes act as a catalyst, but it's really just a catalyst for remembering. It's just a placebo for reminding. And that's what this was an example of. And then Jesus like, Jesse, okay. He's like, yes, I want to be healed. He finally comes to that, and he comes to the realization that the pool is not the answer. And that is the moment the weight is relieved. You cannot find what you are seeking if you have placed so much weight on what you believe the outcome should look like, what the path should be to get there. When you are so focused on that, you miss so many opportunities, because it doesn't matter what the level of form is. And in that moment, Jesse allowed that. He allowed himself to release the weight he had placed on the effect, the weight he had placed on what it looks like at the level of form, and he allowed whatever to come in. He just believed, and he had this great want and welcome for the healing, and just like, pick up your bed, let's go. And he does. He moves his toes, and he does. But he was only able to do that because he stopped placing the weight on the pool. If in that moment with Jesus, he would have continued to fight that it is the pool, and continued to fight that these people are pushing him away and not allowing him to get in the pool, and he doesn't have someone to bring him to the pool, he would have stayed in the ego. He would have stayed in that state of fear and sacrifice and separation, and really the victim. And we've talked, fear and love cannot coexist. So that means the love and the healing and the understanding that he is eternal love and unconditional love couldn't have found its way into remembrance, because he was so attached to the ego. But for Jesse, that didn't happen. And I'm wondering, you friend, how often is that happening to you? How many times are you getting in your own way? How often are you seeking your salvation, seeking whatever your outcome is outside of yourself? And when it does not happen, when it comes up short, you are coming up with every excuse. And that will always happen, because the truth is, it will always come up short. So either you can blame it on external circumstances and other people as to why it came up short, or you can find that radical ownership that Jesse did of like, oh crap, I've wasted 38 years believing that the answers were within the pool, and it's always been within, and release it and forgive yourself for it so that the healing can find its way in. Does it mean it's going to turn out exactly how you wanted it to at the level of form? No, but it's going to turn out exactly how it was meant to, in order for your journey to continue on your way back home. Oh my gosh, every time I do one on The Chosen, I feel so lit up and on fire, and I am so grateful for you. I hope that this helped you to see areas in your life that you are actually holding yourself back, that you can release. Again, this is not about religion or like Jesus died for us and sacrificed and you must follow him. It's about seeing everything for the truth that it is, and that Jesus was a symbol of what you are capable of. He is your big brother, and he is here to be the brightest mirror you have ever had, But again, like we started this video, you have to be willing and ready. Healing will never force itself upon you. Fear always will. Fear will constantly be chaotic, but healing and love never will, because it will win in the end, period. It doesn't need to fight for your attention. So are you ready to surrender? That was our trip for today with The Chosen Season 2, Episode 4. Oh, and I don't know if you've watched, it's coming out in the theaters, Season 4. I don't know if I'm going to go see it in the theaters. If you have any recommendations or requests, please comment below. And I am so grateful for you. As always, remember you are worth it, and so much love. Bye-bye.